Imagine finding the world's biggest treasure chest of critical metals, but instead of digging up a rainforest, you're just scooping potato-sized rocks off the bottom of the ocean. Well, that is the incredible, almost sci-fi promise of the Metals Company, or TMC. But make no mistake, this deep-sea treasure hunt is one of the biggest, highest-stakes gambles on the market today.
And here's their grand vision, right from the source. I mean, it's a mission statement that sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? They're not just talking about mining. They're talking about securing the entire future of American industry with a totally revolutionary way to get the metals that, power our entire world. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole breakdown. Is putting your money into TMC a golden ticket, the kind of thing that could make you a fortune? Or is it just a wild gamble that's destined to sink to the bottom of the ocean, taking all that investor cash right along with it?
Okay, let's dive deep into this. To really understand what's at stake here, we first have to get a handle on what exactly TMC is trying to pull off in the massive, mostly unexplored depths of the Pacific Ocean.
So the treasure we're talking about are these things called polymetallic nodules. And what's wild is they aren't buried deep in the earth. They're literally just sitting there on the sea floor, like potatoes in a field. But what makes them so special is that each little rock is packed with 4 essential metals we need for, well, everything, from electric car batteries to wind turbines.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. TMC's entire pitch, their whole reason for being, is that this is a way better alternative to traditional mining on land, which, as we know, can mean tearing down forests and causing massive disruption. They're arguing that just vacuuming up these nodules is a cleaner, more efficient way to get these vital resources, especially for the US.
But pioneering a brand new industry in one of the planet's most hostile environments? Yeah, that's anything but simple. And that brings us to the enormous risks that are tied directly to TMC's survival.
So the bottom line is this. TMC is navigating a minefield of challenges. First off, they need a green light from regulators like NOAA for a type of mining that's never been done commercially. There's no playbook for this. Then their key exploration contracts are coming up for renewal really soon. And all the while, they are facing a storm of opposition from environmental groups who are, understandably, worried about what this could do to the deep ocean.
Any one of those operational risks could be a deal breaker, sure, but they all funnel down into one massive financial problem: just staying alive. To really get how precarious this company's situation is, we have to look at the numbers. And let me tell you, they paint a very, very stark picture.
This is TMC's revenue. 0. A big, fat 0. After over a decade of work, research, and development, this company has not made a single dollar from its main business. They are completely pre-revenue, which means they're paying for everything by selling parts of the company to investors.
And this chart just lays out the cold, hard financial reality. As of their last report, TMC had negative shareholders' equity. So what does that mean? Put it this way, if they sold everything they own, every ship, every piece of tech, they still wouldn't have enough money to pay off all their debts. That is a massive, flashing red flag for any business.
And on top of that, the rate at which they're burning through cash is just intense. The company lost a staggering $184.5 million in just one quarter. Cash is just pouring out of the business, not into it, which puts incredible pressure on them to keep finding more and more funding.
Okay, so with financials that look this grim, you have to be asking, why on earth would anyone invest in this company? Well, the answer isn't on the balance sheet today. It's in the colossal potential of what this company could become tomorrow.
This is the number that keeps the dream alive for investors: $23.6 billion. According to TMC's own studies, that's the potential value of all their projects combined. It's basically a calculation of how much all the future profits from that deep-sea treasure could be worth in today's money. This gigantic number is the heart of the bull case.
And it's not just them saying it. Wall Street analysts see this potential too. You can see their 12-month price targets here, with an average of $11.20, which suggests a lot of upside from where the stock is now. They're trying to price in that multi-billion-dollar future, even with all the risks we just talked about.
But even with that incredible potential, there is one giant external threat that hangs over everything. A single risk that could make that $23.6 billion valuation totally worthless. So what is it?
It's this, the environmental review. At the end of the day, the final word from regulators on whether deep-sea mining is safe for the ocean is the ultimate gatekeeper. A no from them, or even just kicking the can down the road forever, could
could kill TMC's dream for good, no matter how much treasure is down there.
So, we've seen the unbelievable upside and the company-ending risks. We've looked at the $0 in revenue and the multi-billion-dollar prize. It all comes down to one final call.
Based on the analysts' consensus and the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the opportunity, our verdict is a speculative buy. And let me repeat that key word, speculative. This is not a safe, sleep-well-at-night investment. It is a high-risk, potentially high-reward bet on a company trying to create an entire new industry from scratch.
And we're aligning with that 12-month consensus analyst price target of $11.20 a share. This number reflects that huge upside potential if, and believe me, this is a massive if, the company can actually navigate all of its regulatory and financial hurdles.
And this slide really boils the entire thing down perfectly, doesn't it? The argument for this stock is the chance to get in on the ground floor of what could be a multi-billion-dollar industry that's critical to national security. The argument against is the very real, very scary possibility that TMC just runs out of money and goes bankrupt before ever pulling up a single dollar's worth of nodules.
Now, I get it if that level of all or nothing risk is just not for you, but you're still interested in this sector. The sources we looked at do point to a couple of more defensive alternatives.
So for more cautious investors, you've got companies like Materion and Nexa Resources. These are established businesses that offer you exposure to the metals industry without that binary all-or-nothing risk of TMC. I mean, they're revenue generating, they have positive equity, and much more stable valuations. They're a much safer harbor.
You know, ultimately, the story of TMC forces all of us to ask a much bigger question. As we try to build a green economy that needs more of these metals than ever before, where are we going to get them? Is pioneering a new frontier in the deep sea the brilliant answer we've been looking for? Or are we about to make a catastrophic mistake? The fate of companies like TMC, and maybe a part of our planet's future, is hanging in the balance.
So what do you think is the biggest hurdle for TMC? Is it the money, the tech, or the regulators? And what companies should we break down in our next explainer? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hey, make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into the companies that are trying to shape our world.